This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velarde. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
And we're on the air. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show that, oh my God, what else more can you say about us? This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Leonard, a.k.a. Hampton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger. Retired Brian, still football?
Smell it in the air, don't you?
Oh my God, it smells.
It's like 90 degrees right now. It's going to be hoodie weather soon. You know?
I'm even feeling it in my shorts right now, too. So anyway, let's get to our 32 NFL team preview shows again that we're doing. We are going to the Southeast to talk to the Jacksonville Jaguars affiliate. That's right, folks. You've begged for them to come on, and we have too. Our buddy, Princeton Joshway. Princeton, what's up, my brother?
How you guys doing today? What's good?
Well, we're not as good as you, Princeton, but we're trying our damnedest.
Trying to live the dream, right?
Trying to live the dream. That's exactly what it's all about.
The weather's looking good over there for you guys?
Well,
it's hot.
It's hot. It's
like sticky hot.
It's going to pour like hell tomorrow, so we're not looking forward to that. So, but
okay.
You know, it is Philadelphia weather. Anyway, so let's get to it. Brian, stab me. Let's talk to our Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Jaguars, 10-6 won the division. Oh wait, that's right. That's what I said they were going to do. And then everything fell apart.
Oh my God, we had to go to
3-13, last place in the AFC South. Did not qualify for the playoffs. Offensively, they were two rungs short of a train wreck. Offensively, 20th ranked through the air, 22nd on the ground, 23rd overall. Blake Bortles missed 4,000 yards by a little bit, 23 touchdowns, 16 picks. It was a bit of a running back by committee. TJ Yeldon, Chris Ivory.
By the way, give and take was minus 16. By the way, just to throw that stat in there. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
465 yards for Yeldon, 439 for Ivory. They combined for only 4 touchdowns. I think that speaks volumes. Offensively through the air, Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee, they both had about 800 or 900 yards, 9 total touchdowns. They addressed that offense in the draft early and often. They went with Leonard Fournette, running back at LSU, 4th overall. Came back in the 2nd round with Cam Robinson, offensive tackle, who many thought could be a mid-first round pick. And then just for giggles, it went D.D. Westbrook, Oklahoma wide receiver, in the 4th round. Yeah. So they're really trying to get that offense to be fixed because Princeton, they were terrible last year offensively. Blake Bortles regressed. Blake Bortles regressed, and we said going in it was a make-or-break year for him. He went down from 44.28 to 39.05 yards. Touchdowns dropped from 35 to 23. Where is this leading for the Jags? I mean, at what point do they look elsewhere at quarterback, given the fact that this guy hasn't progressed to the Ben Roethlisberger we were all led to believe he was going to be?
Yeah, and they re-signed him, not re-signed, but picked up his team option for next season. So
there you go.
That speaks a little bit of volumes to me.
He's got to have pictures on somebody.
Sounds really excited about that.
Yeah, Princeton, calm down.
Yeah,
calm down with that.
Don't get so excited.
Don't get so excited
about the Bortles extension.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bortles either, but it's a make or break year for this guy. I mean, he has to put up or shut up, and everybody's been patient enough for this guy to develop.
Yeah, and talk about make or break. You signed Chris Ivory to a huge deal last year, and he gets hurt a lot this year, and you know, you give him big money for a couple more years, and here we go drafting Leonard Fournette, the kid out of LSU, and TJ Yeldon in the background again. This running back situation has been flip-flopped so many times. They just can't seem to get it right. You know, with this wide receiver core the way it is, with Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, you know, the Julius Thomas situation is gone. Mercedes Lewis should be the main guy, or Mikael Rivera from Oakland. Where do you see this running back situation go? Do you see Leonard Fournette being the main guy all year long, or is it going to be a rotation again?
I feel like it's going to be a 2-man committee to me. I feel like either TJ Yeldon or I don't see Chris Ivory getting pushed out, but I feel like it's going to be one guy. I mean, especially with Tom Coughlin coming over, I'm sure him and our head coach talk together about the running situation, and I'm sure they just want one dominant runner. Another guy can come in and fill in whenever. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah. The defense was definitely the only thing to get kind of really excited about. You know, for the Jags, it was very, very good. They were 5th against the pass, 6th overall. I think their running defense might have been a little bit low because I guess, you know, teams frankly got ahead of them and then they just ran the ball to eat clock. So Big improvements defensively. They actually dropped over 50 yards a game allowed from the 2 years ago to last year. So definitely a plus there. Anybody that you feel might really take that defense, by the horns this year and really lead them, since they're really the unit that's helping this team really accomplish anything right now?
There's so many good players on this team this season. You can look at every position, and there's no gaps on the defense. I feel like we have good leadership with Paul Kozlowski still there. I mean, holding the linebackers accountable with these young guys we have, Telvin Smith and Miles Jack. But I mean, I feel like the secondary is really they're just gonna shut everybody down with Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye.
Yep,
from the Texans.
Yep.
I feel like this defense is going to be a top 3 defense instead of just a top 8 defense.
I think you're right in a way. We went down this road last year with the firepower that this team has, and they should be better than they are. Off the field issue, Dante Fowler Jr. in trouble, accused of assault. Of all things that this team doesn't need right now, it's distractions, and that's, I think, is a little bit of a distraction. Will it make a big difference? I don't know, but Dante Fowler coming off a bad injury last year, and then this happens, doesn't bode well for him. Like you said, Princeton, this defense with Malik Jackson, you got Sheldon Day, you got guys like Telvin Smith in there, Miles Jack. Calais Campbell. You got Miles Jack in there. The guy that took a chance on seems to be working out pretty well. I mean, this team should be loaded for bear and should be a lot better on defense than they were last year. But offensively, we can go round and round about it. Blake Bortles has got to be better this year. This has got to be the year that he produces.
Right. And to go back on the defense, the main thing that hurt those guys, even they were a young collective group with a lot of 1-2 year starters playing. Yeah. The main thing that killed those guys last year was just not being disciplined. A lot of offside calls, holding calls. They got to be disciplined on and off the field, and that was really disappointing with the Dante Fowler situation. This is like the 3rd incident since he's been drafted with us that just can't stay on the tabloids.
And a quick follow-up to that is Jalen Ramsey might start the season on the PUP list. If that is the case, then I think Brian Dixon, this kid, looks pretty good in camp and supposedly is the lead over Josh Johnson to get that corner position. So do you know anything about that, Princeton?
I haven't really heard too much about it. I know that my training camp started today, so I'm going to start looking into what's going on with the roster movement. But there's a lot of room for improvement for guys to step up and take positions.
Absolutely, a lot of improvement. Actually, trivia question for all you trivia nuts out there. Actually, George W. Bush was president the last time the Jags had a winning record, and that was in 2007 when they went 11-5. That was a decade ago.
Should we bring Princeton here? You let him kick you, or you want to kick him?
He doesn't know anything. He knows everything I'm saying. It's just bringing it to the forefront. I mean, 17 wins over the past 5 seasons. They're going to have to get something more out of that offense. And I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here before we get to the schedule, but I feel like we're at last year again. It's a make or break here for Blake Bortles. And how do you see this playing out? I mean, he's, from the standpoint of people around him, easily the best running game he's ever had with Fournette. Just an absolutely phenomenal running back. They got receivers all over the field. They gave him offensive line help. I mean, I know that they gave him the extension, that's fine, but if he really doesn't get this team to at least a respectable record, I mean, are we looking at the final couple months of Blake Bortles in Jacksonville?
He's got to be 500 this year. He's got to be.
It's a peculiar situation. I don't think I've ever seen this with a quarterback where they give him chances and you see a new regime come in, even with Tom Coughlin coming back, and they made all the moves around this guy. I mean, they traded for the Brian Alberts, Julius Thomas trade. I mean, they revamped the offensive line. They drafted another wide receiver. They drafted a running back. There's no excuses for this guy anymore. So, I mean, offensively, I would like to see him not run the ball. I mean, not throw the ball as much. I mean, a lot of those interceptions came off of 3rd and long situations where he had to force something to happen. So, I mean, hopefully we can get in some 3rd and shorts to where he doesn't have to throw as much in those 3rd down situations. So, I mean, hopefully the ball isn't going to. Hopefully we start to see his numbers go down a little bit with even the interceptions and the passing yards. I would like to see him at least throw 3,000 yards. That's a good year for me.
Running game would help too.
Yeah, that would help. And you look at the schedule, Princeton. The schedule makers didn't give Jacksonville any kind of leeway, starting off with 2 division games in the beginning, one on the road and one at home, with Houston and Tennessee. Then they're home for Baltimore. Then they go to the Steelers, and then at the Colts before they take a break. I think it's vital that Jacksonville gets off to a good start. In those first 7 games, they probably have to almost win 4 of them, which I don't know where they're going to win 4 of them, but I think they got to win at least 4 to get off to a 4-3 start by the bye week, or they're almost sunk already.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of last year when we started off with the Packers, and that was a game we should have won, but we didn't. And I felt like that just trickulated the whole season with us. Yeah, not getting over that first game. So again, we got to get out early out of the gates.
I mean, briefly, the second half of the season, you got to play the Seahawks, you got to play the Texans again, obviously division game. You got the Bengals, at the Cardinals, which is a good place to play. I mean, they got some tough teams to play this year, so it could be rough sailing if they don't get off to a good start.
In a division that's becoming more and more competitive by the year, I mean, it used to be a division that you just put the Colts in the playoffs every year. I don't think you can do that anymore. I guess I'm going to put you on the spot. It's kind of a very loaded question here because a lot of things have to happen. I think the way for this team to really be the team that we all think that they can be. I mean, there's no question they have the talent on the defensive side of the ball, and really there's no question that they have guys on offense that can contribute. It's just about this team kind of just doing it.
Stepping up and getting it done.
Yeah, so again, coming off a 3-13, bad surprise to the downside year. What do you think this season has in store for your beloved Jacksonville Jaguars?
Hopefully at the top of the division. The one team that scares me, I mean, of course we all still see Houston at the top gun of the division, but the Titans, man, I love the acquisitions they've been doing the past couple of years, and that offense.
They're quietly getting better. They're quietly getting better.
Really are.
Nobody's talking about the Titans, and I think they're gonna be there, definitely in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, kind of just like Bortles. They've just been putting more and more weapons around Mariota, and he's only going to get better. So, and they've got a good young core of players. So,
but with that, I don't know how many more weapons you could put around Bortles. I mean, he's got
the guys. He's got the
guys. He's just got to come through. I mean, they spent all that money for Julius Thomas, and that didn't work out. But you got a lot of. They're trying to give him. I don't know how much more you can give him.
Yeah, I don't blame it all on him. Last year, a bit on the coaches. Not putting him in the right situations to succeed.
Yeah, it was a lame coach. I think he was on his way out. They didn't really care for him anyway, so that could be a reason too.
But also, we talked a lot about the Colts not getting support from their defense. Blake Bortles got nothing out of his running game.
Yeah,
just nothing, and that's going to be a big thing this year. That I expect him to get a lot more out of just a stud guy in Leonard Fournette. I think Jacksonville may have saw the Cowboys from last year taking Elliott high and saying, hey, that might work for us because. Yeah, they had other needs, frankly, but they got a stud running back.
We got to establish a running game. Four touchdowns is
no bueno.
So number-wise, Princeton, what do you pin down on it?
I would have to say at least 9 wins.
Wow,
9 wins.
Okay, I think they got it. They have to go 8-8. I mean, that's for me to give any respect to Blake Bortles to see what he's doing to get this team back in the hunt again, and I think he does have to get it back on the hunt again. They got to be at least 8-8. 9-7 is respectable.
Do you think 8-8 is going to keep him in Jacksonville, though?
I think 8-8 shows progress in him, and I think he stays in Jacksonville.
I got to tell you,
they go from 3 wins to 8, Princeton. That's a big jump.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I wish they did bring in a veteran quarterback to at least compete with him in training camp. I mean,
you can get
all this talk with Kaepernick. I mean, why not him?
You can get Osweiler. He's still out there.
Yeah, he could take it back up.
They can get you, Princeton. I heard you could throw the ball downfield. What do you think?
Suit up.
He's laying low on us today.
That's
all right.
Yeah, we all were on that Jags train.
Oh, we were driving it. We were hooking cars to it. We were doing everything with it last year.
When I trainer would be like a better place than we ended up.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get rolling on tracks. It was bad. But that's all the time we have. We want to thank our buddy and friend and Jacksonville affiliate who we love so much on this show, and I do say we love so much, Princeton Joshway. Princeton, thanks for getting on, pal, talking a little Jacksonville with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's absolutely our pleasure. And anything that happens in Jacksonville from now on in camp, or something happens during the season, we're going to get Princeton back on the show and talk a little Jacksonville. Is that okay, Princeton, with you?
Absolutely.
Attaboy. All right. So that's all the time we have. We want to thank you for watching. And remember, you can always get us on social media if you need to.
We're everywhere. At Sportsbox Show on Twitter and Facebook. And, of course, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. And remember, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters. Brian.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh,
it's always right here.
So right here, right now. Thank you for watching, folks. See you. 1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.